So at around 6 p.m. last night, I was scrolling YouTube and saw a SMMA Dictionary video by Iman Gaji. So, you know me, decided to click on it, watch through, and after that, I was pretty intrigued because a lot of the terms that were mentioned in that video were just completely irrelevant to today's landscape and everything that's going on. I looked into a few other dictionary videos and saw the same thing over and over and over again of just information and terms that aren't really important in the modern day market of social media marketing, funny enough. So, what I decided to do is just jump on and give you guys some new terms, some new things that are relevant in today's market that you can use so that you sound like you know what you're talking about. You can communicate with other people and, really just leverage these terms. So, without further ado, let's dive into the video. The SMMA Dictionary. So, we can see got all of our friends up here. We got Joel, Iman, Jaime, and Jordan Platten. So, why is this important? And you can see here that it's not really. But you need to know what people are talking about so you can learn. These terms are going to make your life easier and they make you seem like a cool entrepreneur if you can use them casually. So we can see our friend Steve Jobs here. He goes, yep, my client's ad spend's getting a 5x ROAS. With that high AOV, the LTV is going to set me up for my first B2B venture. And term one, marketing agency. A marketing agency is just a service-based business. All this means is that instead of selling a product like e-commerce or dropshipping does, we are just providing a service to another business, right, in return for cash, money, something of value. Second term, SMMA, social media marketing. I'm sure you all know this. It is just a sub-niche of the actual marketing agency providing a service to another business. And some common examples of services for marketing agencies include Facebook, Google, Snapchat, social media management, and short form content. So, third term, LTV. So you can see this is what our friend Jobs used right over here. LTV stands for lifetime value. So it is the total dollar worth of a client across the entire time that they spend working with you. So if a client works with you for 3 months on a 2K monthly retainer, the client or the LTV of that client would be 6K, right? And LTV is actually a very important kind of metric to measure because it can allow you to get more money from each of your clients. So if you see that, your clients are having an LTV of 6K and leave after 3 months, you can then charge them 8K for 6 months of work. Right now, you've just increased your LTV by what would actually be only worth one more month. And all you do is manage the ads for these other 3 months that you've actually thrown on there. And given that now you've increased your LTV and each client is worth more to you than they would have been beforehand, right? So that is a really cool way to average LTV. And you see, similar to how this person grows up, the money bags get bigger. Cool. So the next thing is going to be AOV, which is the average order value. So this is the price of whatever product your prospect's selling. And to give an example, if you're working with a pet store, the AOV will likely be around $100 or lower. Whereas if you're working with an HVAC company, which is, heating and air conditioning installs, their AOV would be in the thousands because that's how much every order is worth to them. So understanding the AOV really helps you understand and calculate how many sales you need to generate to break even with your ads or whatever kind of content service you're providing to them with your SMMA, and then also calculate how much you need to get them a good ROAS, right, which we'll dive into in just a second here. So if we have a $500 ad spend with a $100 AOV, we know we need 5 sales to break even and 2 sales for 2x ROAS. That's not right. We're going to need 10 sales for a 2x ROAS. Boom. And given that, we've now got a 2x ROAS. So term 5, ads manager. This is not a person. The ads manager is not a person. It is a centralized location where all of your clients and are all displayed in Facebook. It's the portal you're going to be using to manage and tweak their ads daily. Cool. Next thing is the ad account. So ad account is the location in which paid adverts are paid from. So it's just whatever centralized account has a credit card connected to it that's being billed for all of the ads. Next term, B2B. B2B stands for business to business. It's a type of transaction. So instead of being direct to consumer or D2C, it just means two entrepreneurs and businesses exchanging either a product or service with each other. In our case scenario, we are a marketing agency which will be providing a service in our B2B transactions. So you can see we got the one business over here, the other business over here. and we're giving each other some form of value back and forth, and that is a B2B transaction. Next thing, sales assets. So sales assets are videos, images, or writing that can be used to convert leads to clients. Some examples may include a VSL, email about your story, an image of who you are or who you used to be compared to who you are now. And the purpose of this is to show it to cold leads, warm leads, whatever type of leads that you're going to be receiving, and get them closer to actually buying from you by building trust and authority. Next term, CPA. So CPA stands for cost per acquisition. This is a very, very important term because it can allow you to calculate exactly how you can scale. So cost per acquisition just means how much it costs to get a client. And if, just to give an example here, let's say we have a $50 cost of acquisition on a $100 offer. It means that in order to get a client that's worth $100, we have to spend $50. So that means we have 50% margins on our acquisition. So if you upsell these people who buy the $100 offer, that means that you can scale this low ticket offer only making 50% margin because you know that people, or a percentage of the people that you actually sell on this $100 offer, are going to go up and buy the $500 one. And understanding this whole metric and how it actually plays out in your business can allow you to calculate what you need to do to actually operate at scale. Cool. So the next term, CPM, which is just cost per 1,000 people to reach. It is as simple as that. Next term, warm and cold. So warm and cold are used to describe audiences' familiarity with a concept or thing. Cold meaning unfamiliar, warm being familiar. And it's an easy term to describe how close the lead is to closing with you or doing business with you. As an example, you'll hear me say, cold leads a bunch. And these are people that, are not familiar with us, what we do, whatever it might be. Whereas warm lead is someone who is, knows who you are, knows what you do, has trust and authority in you, and are pretty close to being a buyer. And this is just an overall super important and general term because it's used in all of business and is super helpful to describe, where a prospect actually is or a person actually is to an idea, pipeline, whatever it might be. Next, our final secret term, which is ROAS, return on ad spend. So this is one of the most used terms in the SMMA and marketing agency space. It just means the amount made back compared to the ad spend. So if you spend $10 on ads and you sell one $20 product, you have made a 2x ROAS because you spent $10 and you've made double back, right? And this is return on the ad spend. So very cool term, very, used definitely a bunch, and it is really good to kind of demonstrate to your clients and to other people how effective the adverts you're actually running are, because you can see how much you're actually making back per dollar you spend. So now it is time to really start taking action, and you know all the terms, you have no more excuses to procrastinate. Please just go ahead and take action. Check out my other videos if you don't know how to take action, and as soon as you get done with that, just dive in to start an agency, and I look forward to seeing your success.